right, so today I was reading in Psalms 48 and 49. And this one, it starts out about the battles that we face and how God will come in and those who are faithful, those who have surrendered their lives to the Lord, during these battles and these trials that we face where, we feel like the enemy, people are coming after us. God will come in and rescue us from those troubles. And what's really cool about it is in the scripture, it talks about basically how God will manifest himself in the battle. So show himself. And it talks about like in the wind, God will be in the wind, and it will open up the eyes of the people, And one of the things I notice in there is that when we go through these battles and these hard times, when we see God move in a mighty way, we are eyewitnesses to him moving, and we have to share that with others. And we share that with others, for one, to help build other people's faith. It helps remind us of the victories that God has helped us overcome, but also tell your children so that your children then see the victories that you've gone through so that they can hold on to that. But then also I was realizing today is we need to teach our children to do the same thing. So when they see victories, for them to share it so that it keeps getting passed down from generation to generation. Because I think what happens is we have victory in areas of our lives, and we might tell our children, or we might tell other people of the victories that we've had. But if we don't teach other people to also share their victories with the next generation or other people, then it just stops, it doesn't go any further than that. And I think that's why some things don't get passed down from generation to generation. People that say they're stuck in a bad lifestyle, and their children see that. And then the children get stuck in a bad lifestyle, and then their children get stuck in the same bad lifestyle. It's because they see it. It's repetitive. Goes on and on and on. So I think that's really important for us to always be sharing what we go through and the victories that God has brought us through. And because we are eyewitnesses to those victories. And God's going to establish his kingdom forever and ever. His unending love, his steadfast love, and his kindness is going to be established forever. And God is going to judge everybody. And he is a fair judge. And, we can't buy our way into heaven. We can't buy other people's way into heaven. You do not have enough money to do that. And it doesn't work that way. And one of the things I read in there was a soul's redemption is too costly for earthly wealth. So in other words, the cost for your soul is way too high for any amount of money on earth to get you to heaven. And so I just think that we have to remember that, people that have a lot of wealth, whether it's rich in money, rich in status, position, authority, whatever you're rich in, whatever you have a lot of, you can't take any of that with you. None of that stuff will go with you. When you die, that stuff is still here, and it's left for the next generation for other people to enjoy, but you're not going to enjoy it. And if you haven't surrendered your life to the Lord, then your grave becomes your permanent address. And that's something else that I read in the scriptures as well. That's pretty harsh. But if you haven't surrendered your life to the Lord, then you don't have the hope for eternity. You don't have, you don't have that steadfast love and kindness of the Lord beyond death, whereas those who have surrendered their life, they don't experience death. They go to be with the Lord. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. And so I just encourage you, if you haven't surrendered your life to the Lord, if you're just exploring and checking things out, maybe you're just listening to some of these videos see, what it's all about, I encourage you, please take that leap of faith and surrender your life to the Lord, because even though you will go through hard times and trials, and life doesn't get easier once you've surrendered your life to the Lord, but you will be filled with peace and joy and love, and you will have eternity in heaven, and it's going to be glorious. So I just encourage you to consider that today, and thank you for listening.